One billionaire talking to two others and a several hundred millionaire.
And I fundamentally believe that much of the unrest, the civil unrest, and ultimately this divide in this country is driven by the fact that de-dollarization, because of excess government spending, ultimately leads a majority of people in this country to feeling oppressed and left behind because they're seeing a few people in the country accelerate their net worth, like all of us here, and there's no way for them to catch up because they don't actually own assets. So I'll be honest with you guys and make a confession. I was at the gym this morning on the treadmill.
You were at the gym?
Yeah. And while I was there, I was actually thinking about the wealth tax stuff that's going on in California. And I wonder if it may be an inevitability in order to keep the United States from going into civil war. I mean that very wholeheartedly. Like, I just don't know if there's a way of solving this fiscal problem without a functional redistribution of wealth.
What?
And the question is, can you do it violently or non-violently? And if there's a non-violent path, I think that's probably the preferable path.
Sound the alarms. They're becoming sentient. They're developing consciousness of class. Well. It appears the billionaires and their half-as-rich friend have been taking a third-grade social studies class. See, he's been thinking about it real hard, he says, and he's arrived at the only logical conclusion, he says. Thank goodness he's got that big venture capitalist brain to put to it, because he's arrived at an ingenious conclusion. Apparently, there's going to have to be a redistribution of wealth. And if it doesn't happen the easy way, there's a very good chance it'll happen the hard way. Chop chop? Oh, I meant time-wise, not heads. Though I guess it would be more accurate to say I meant time-wise or heads.
I'll only believe it when I see it. All this is talk until I start seeing it happen. When we start seeing the checks rolling in. I'm sure they all know that this is being recorded and going to be put on the internet. So they're just allowing us to feel like, oh, there's hope. There's a chance now we can actually get some wealth. But really, it's just all fugazi. A wise man said, a warehouse a week keeps the billionaires meek. That discussion isn't self-aware. It's if we can get ahead of this, we can get away with giving up less.
Goddamn right.
My question is, why are they gaining consciousness right now? Is it that they're noticing people might take matters into their own hands and they might be next? Why not during the last economic downfall? Or when we had the lockdown and the redistribution of wealth was happening? Why did they not think about us then? Oh my God, someone posted this. Luigi and the guy who burned the warehouse. Look at what the guy has in his hand. Oh my God. Billionaires gaining consciousness before AI was not on my bingo card. Redistribution of wealth is such a weird way of saying we need to start paying taxes.
I voted for him, yes. But the quicker that you people welcome ex-MAGAs like myself, the more that MAGA is going to be willing to leave. The fact that you guys throw so much hate at ex-MAGA truly makes us not want to leave the cult.
I know her video is satire, so this isn't really directed towards her, but my question to MAGA is, what does welcoming you guys look like? And I think the more important question is, who do you expect to welcome you? It can't be the immigrant community. I mean, you guys took their jobs, ruined their lives, and kicked them out. It can't be the minority community. I mean, you guys blamed DEI on them, took away affirmative action, told them that they're not good enough to work the jobs that they are and live the lives that they do. It can't be the college educated. I mean, you guys called us brainwashed and took away funding and grants for certain degrees. It can't be women, well, liberal women, which, side note, I don't understand how there even can be Republican women, but that's a discussion for a different topic. But it can't be them because y'all have taken away their rights and laid down groundwork for more of their rights to be taken away. It can't be the working class people, any class middle or below, because y'all have increased taxes on us, y'all have increased grocery bills, increased energy bills, and increased gas bills. Can't be the LGBTQ community because y'all have bullied them to the ground and still trying to reverse their rights. Can't be any non-Christian community because the amount of disrespect that y'all give to them is insane. Can't even be the real Christian community because y'all are the literal embodiment of hate. Can't be kids or any victims and survivors of SA because y'all protect their literal predators. And we 100% can't be talking about the black community because the amount of racism and bigotry y'all have shown us is unexcusable. people. I mean, we could even talk about the BLM movement. Y'all haven't even apologized for not standing with us with that. So who is it that you're expecting to welcome you, and what is it that you're expecting to be welcomed for? Because y'all have done nothing but bully and hate on people that don't look like you.
I'm glad that was satire, because we were about to start cooking that MAGA girl. The sooner you assure us we will not be held accountable as we're used to, we will jump sites so quick. Absolutely insane take. Yeah, that accountability is the part where they want to avoid all of that. That they're the ones responsible for all of this. But on top of that, you're responsible for this, but your mindset hasn't even changed as well. Maybe they should start their own support group called MAGA Anonymous and forgive each other. Like, if you're not willing to leave solely based on his actions, not aligning with your own beliefs, why would you expect a welcome wag?
Recently, I had my passport. I had to get it renewed. I sent it back. Comes back gender marker M. Screws everything up. So there's a form in there. If they made a mistake, you can correct it. So I fill out all the proper forms. I'm not calling anybody. I'm not calling the president. You know, I got his personal cell number. I'm not calling anybody. I'm going to see if I can fix this myself. I did everything. And they sent it back M. They didn't change it at all. I don't blame President Trump. I love him. But for a lot of people, this is a huge issue. I was in Mar-a-Lago 2 months ago, wrote a letter explaining all of this to him, how it's affecting me and a lot of other people. And unfortunately, he wasn't there that weekend. Actually, the Secret Service guy said he could get it to him, put it on his desk and stuff. I haven't heard from him. He's kind of busy right now.
Let's just go into the comments. I'm confused. Isn't this exactly what you voted for? Welcome back, Bruce. I don't blame him, as if he's not the direct reason. Bruce, sit down. This is the person you stood strongly behind.
Meet the residents from Social Circle, Georgia. They voted overwhelmingly for President Trump in the past few elections, and right now they're quite unhappy that their area might be getting something that they voted in favor for in their backyards.
Concerned voters, teachers, nurses, farmers, small business owners, people like John Miller. For months now, he's been organizing these meetings as his town of about 5,000 grapples with something very few people here saw coming.
And that thing that they did not see coming because they were too busy not seeing it like 1930s Germany is an immigration facility.
Back in December, Social Circle officials found out that the Department of Homeland Security had quietly purchased a massive warehouse in their tiny town. The plan? Turn it into a detention center for up to 10,000 people, effectively tripling the town's population overnight and placing new strain on resources that were already stretched thin.
We don't have the wastewater capacity for anything close to this size.
Now, keep in mind, many of these folks believe in strong immigration policies and believe in mass deportations. And it appears as though the people that they help elect into office are not being responsive.
Now, residents here can't even get a response, let alone a visit, from the very same Republicans this town helped elect.
You know, we're in Georgia and we can't get our attorney general to fight for us. So now we are trying to figure out how we're going to fight with a little money, fight the big federal government, when we should have had our government fighting for us.
Right. What about Governor Kemp? How can he help us and how can we reach him?
I can tell you that there hasn't been a lack of effort to get in touch with Kemp, but there's been very, very little response.
And let's hear from a couple of the residents that voted totally in favor of this.
One of the comments that I've seen from some people in Georgia is they say, well, you know, a lot of people in Social Circle, they supported the president, they support ICE, so they should support the facility. This is what you asked for.
Well,
no.
I do support ICE.
And I do support the president. But this is not the place to bring those people.
Sounds like you're okay with this happening in other people's backyards, but not your own. Now let's hear from another resident and see what he has to say about this.
But he says he didn't vote for this.
What would you say to someone who said you voted for this to happen?
I think that's a very narrow view of what is happening and what has happened.
Oh, it sounds like you guys are going against the guy that you helped put into office, because it's affecting you now personally. I'm gonna venture a guess and say that if this were happening in blue cities where facilities were being built, y'all would probably be enjoying this. Because now it seems as though you guys have entered the find out phase of FAFO. But in conclusion, all I do have to say to you guys is, have the day that you voted for. Bye.
This is why I say that they'll still vote for him in the midterms. They might be upset with the policies, but they'll still vote for him. Universe has a sense of humor. I don't want to be confronted with the results of my hatred. So it kind of feels like I expected this for thee, but not for me. They put these facilities in red states because they know there'll be very little pushback in those areas. This is what they supported, right? Build them up. After watching this, let me know if you all still have some sympathy or you all still playing that little ass violin.
You have talked about the midterms a lot and about the fact that Democrats could or maybe should win big if we are where we are then, which is a very big if. Could you see yourself supporting Democrats?
Yeah, absolutely. One thing about me, which drives me crazy, I vote for Trump. I support him. I was never like some crazy MAGA guy.
Lying through his teeth. I think more and more people are trying to separate themselves from being MAGA. Man, even his own MAGA people are calling him out. Another no backbone person flowing with the wind. Trump is doing Lord's work.
I don't blame President Trump for the death of my son because he wasn't the one who pulled the trigger. But I do think that something needs to be changed in that department as far as the pattern of violence or abuse and impunity.
Rachel Ray's son, 23-year-old Ruben Ray Martinez, was killed by an ICE agent nearly 1 year ago here in Texas.
Let me start off by saying that we all know that the death of a child can be one of the greatest losses a parent can suffer. And I am genuinely sorry that this woman is going through that she has lost her son. But I'd also like to point out that her refusal to hold Trump accountable is because then she would have to hold herself accountable. Her refusal to admit that voting for Donald Trump has caused this is because then she would have to admit that she voted for a man who caused this. That would be admitting her role in the death of her son. It is Donald Trump who sets the culture of these deportations. It is Donald Trump who appoints the people in positions of power who go off to head these deportations. It is Donald Trump's responsibility that if he sees that these deportations are being handled in a way that is lawless, to stop and rein in his own administration and say, hey, this is not how we do things. But he's never done that. In fact, he's done the opposite. He's encouraged these people to be as lawless as possible. The Conservative Party has built a culture that harbors this behavior. And none of them call it out. I mean, for crying out loud, if you yourself, as a conservative woman, tried garnering sympathy from the Conservative Party over the death of your son and trying to get them to understand that his death was wrongful, they would laugh at you in your face and tell you, no, your son must have done something to deserve it.
Anyway, guys, let me know what your thoughts are with some of these MAGA voters, some of them not even seeing the truth and recognizing their role in all of this. Leave your comments down below. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. If it's your first time to the channel, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help out the channel, and I do appreciate you if you do it. Also, check out this video. I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. But nevertheless, I will see you guys when I see you. Peace.